Today we are going to be making chicken Marbella, or at least my version of it. I love how simple this dish is since the entire thing is made in a 13 by 9. It gets marinated in there and it gets cooked in there and it's all the same dish and one dish to clean at the end. The other thing I love about this dish is that it's very easy to scale since I usually do 6 breasts per pan, so you could easily cook 12 breasts by just using 2 pans, which means you can make this for a large group. You can use boneless, skinless chicken breasts or thighs. I'll be using breasts because this is the way I like to do it. I think it's a good use of boneless, skinless chicken breast because of the long marinade time, which keeps the meat really juicy. So once the breasts are in the pan, I season them with salt and pepper since it's easier to judge the amounts when you can directly season the meat. Then I take a head of garlic and remove all the cloves, and then I just simply crush each clove of garlic and throw it in after taking the paper off. You could slice it or mince it or do whatever you want, but I like the big cloves in there, plus it's not as much work. Then I start adding the marinade ingredients, which I'm starting with a lot of oregano. It's one of the main flavors of this dish. When I first made this, I was a little worried about the flavor being too strong, but I really think it works well with the other flavors. I've just finished the 1 bottle of oregano and had to crack into another, but they're the same thing. It just requires a lot, and that first bottle didn't have much in it. Then I'm adding some Spanish olives, but you could use whatever you want here. This is just what I happen to have on hand. There weren't many left, so I just filled in with some regular green olives too. You can see I also add some of the juice of the olives for flavor, and why not? What else are you going to do with that brine? And then I like to go olive heavy since it's one of my favorite parts of this dish. Then I add some whole dried prunes. I actually go a little light on the prunes. The original recipe, I think, calls for more of this, but they're not my favorite part, so I go a little bit light on them. And then I follow up the prunes with some capers, and again, adding some of the juice like I did for the olives. Then add some red wine vinegar. You can see I'm not really measuring anything here. I'm just doing it by eyeball. Like, I'll have measurements amounts in the recipe, but you can just do whatever you want. And if you like vinegar, add more vinegar, So it's a really forgiving recipe. Then I'm finishing with a good amount of olive oil and some dried bay, and just try to remember how many bay leaves you add so you can pick them out later. Then after everything is added, I just go around and give it a little mix and push everything down in the marinade and wrap it in plastic, or if you have a lid for your 13 by 9, that'd be probably better, and then just put that in the fridge. I like to do at least 12 hours. I usually just do it the night before and let it go for 24 hours. When you're ready to cook, just preheat your oven to 325 and bake until the chicken reaches an internal temperature of 150 to 155 degrees. Allow to rest for 10 minutes covered. You'll see I just place a sheet pan on top when it comes out of the oven, which I think works pretty well. And then usually we just serve it alongside some sort of vegetable like green beans or broccoli, and then we serve it on top of cauliflower rice, usually, just to kind of get more veggies in there. So, hope you enjoyed the video, and please consider subscribing.